Interviewer is asking what is circuit breaker. So as I heard this name first time, what is the answer that I can, because I know the circuit breaker. So I can give an example that happened actually. At my hometown, once there is a lot of fluctuation in the electricity, that is how it caused the appliance failures like TB, fridge, washing machine, everything burned out because of that heavy load all of a sudden. We called the electrician and he said that there was a problem, some wiring, and it could have prevented the failure of the entire appliances if we could have used fuse at the main line itself. So what the functionality of this fuse is, whenever there is a lot of fluctuation, high load, that fuse goes down and electricity supply at entire home is prevented from their point itself. So this is the because circuit is closed when wiring is proper, the electricity is being supplying properly, but when that fuse goes down, the circuit is open at that point and electricity is not coming to the home. So that is how it can prevent, yeah, for the time being it is going down, but it is preventing the failure of the entire system. Other things are going properly. This is the scenario in the electricity circuit breaker, and the similar thing applies in our microservices also. So yeah, nowadays our application architecture is divided into different microservices. Each business functionality is a single microservices. So to achieve a business goal, it is a flow of requests. One request is calling other microservices, other microservices. So there is a chain of calls happens, network calls happens. So let's say cart is calling the product service, something goes wrong with the product, so cart should not cause the failure to the entire system. There should be some fallback mechanism that can handle this one, right? So we saw in the last video, like microservices communication, if it is straight away calling this one, there is no, like we saw in the electricity circuit wiring thing, right? If there is no protection in this call here, if there is too much load, there is issue at the product side, it is throwing some unknown exception, this can cause the failure of the entire system. And circuit breaker, that fuse kind of mechanism we can apply here in our services also. So what is circuit breaker in microservices? It's a design pattern which is used to improve the stability and resiliency of the system. A circuit breaker is implemented as a middleware component that sits between the client and the microservices it is calling. In this architecture, if cart service is calling product, so cart is a client and product is a service. So the circuit breaker is implemented at this point here, at the cart service itself, as a middleware here. Once the circuit breaker is stripped, that it is same as we saw on the electricity wiring. If circuit breaker is closed, it can take one of the several actions. So whoever service, like if this service is S1 and it is calling S2, so circuit breaker is implemented at this point here. So if circuit is tripped, like if this communication is not happening, so it has to do some actions, right? So it can return the cache response, what was available earlier. It can decide to return the default value, the fallback thing, and it can return the error message also. So we have three options as a fallback that we can work around. So as per the business use case, we can choose one of these. This prevents the client from continuously sending requests to the failing microservices and exacerbating the issue. So it is same, like if continuously something going wrong with the S2, so this middleware, while calling this one, it can monitor that call. After a while, it can right away stop sending the call to the S2 itself. So in that meantime, S2 can self heal or other can debug it and fix the issue, and later on when it is fixed, it will keep calling the S2. If I talk about more about the circuit breaker, let's say let's take an example, one implementation library, that is Resilience 4J. So how it works actually, circuit breaker is implemented as a finite state machine. So if we have client, there is a server, so client is calling the server, so that call is wrapped into something, and that code around which that call is wrapped, it monitors the call, and based on that it decides what state it is in. by default it is in the closed state. That means everything is fine as per the configuration and communication is happening, there is no issue. Open means there is issue with the downstream services and the circuit is open, and it is no longer calling the downstream services, and whatever fallback is implemented, whether cached response or exception or any other thing, it is working that. Half open means if there are 10 requests per minute happening to the downstream services, so in a half open state it can decide based on the configuration, it can decide to make some of the calls. It will not make 10 requests to the downstream services, it can decide to call the 1 request per minute and see if the downstream service is healed or not, it is responding properly or not. If it is responding properly, then it will again change the state to the closed state. So you can see with this diagram properly to understand when it is in the closed state, when it is in the open state, and when it is in the half open state. How it monitors those requests, it is decided on some time window, like if say on 1 minute it had some threshold, like how much error it can tolerate. So all these configuration can be configured. So there is like on what basis it should configure. There is a time based window also and count based window also. Both options are there. We can go whatever configuration we have. So I want to talk about the configuration actually that are there. So failure rate threshold is there. So how much failure it can afford, that we can give it here. So other slow call rate threshold. So there is a timing configuration. There is like if you're calling the downstream services, you cannot wait indefinitely. So there is a process of determining slow call rate. So it keeps track of the response times of the usual request, and if something is responding not in a usual way, it determines that as a slow call rate threshold. So that count is there, that percentage is there, based on that it decides to change the state. Slow call duration threshold. So this is the slow call duration. So it is a duration, like what time, if it is responding by how much time, then how it should decide that it is a slow call rate. Permitted number of calls in half open state. So if it is in a half open state, how many requests should be allowed to pass, like 10 requests should be allowed. This is the default value, but as per the business use case, we should decide it. So max wait duration in a half open state. So how much time it should wait in the half open state before changing the state and before making the call to the third party downstream services. Sliding window type, count based or time based. Sliding window size, minimum number of calls, wait duration in open state. You can see all these configurations here. And this is how you can implement the circuit breaker using Resilience 4J library. So this Resilience 4J library, I have a separate playlist which I created a long back, and you can go ahead and check out that to get more details around this one. So coming back to our discussion about this one. So how circuit breaker helps? In summary, we can say it helps to improve the resiliency and stability of the microservices architecture by preventing cascading failures and providing a way to handle errors in a graceful manner. It is an essential tool in ensuring that a microservice architecture can operate reliably and efficiently in a distributed environment. So it is just a final point to conclude the circuit breaker video, that how it is helping us. So we have seen the architecture, how it is helping in the communication. So now the last thing is about that we are covering in this series, that question series. A single video is actually going too long, like 15-20 minutes. I want to keep it short. So that is why the question section and their explanation I'm going to cover in the next video. I'll see you in that video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.